Hi everyone, this is Glenn Flaherty from Sweet Spot and also from Board Games and Bourbon, and today we are going to talk about Dicey Goblins. And so what happens in Dicey Goblins? In this game, you are going into a dungeon and you are trying to get all the riches for yourself. You're competing with your other players to come ahead with all the eggs, which is really currency, and after a few rounds, you're going to see who the victor is. So you're rolling die. These are the die, and you roll two at a time. And you roll, you get some treasure. You can decide to leave or you can push further. If you decide you want to leave, you take the lowest die that's available. If you push further, you might get all the die, or you might be left with nothing by your other players. You gotta assess every situation by itself. So in the game, you're gonna get a bunch of die you're gonna roll. You're gonna get a velvet bag that you roll them and you pick them from. You're gonna get an instruction booklet. The instruction booklet's okay. It's only 7 pages, very colorful. Just be aware that when you look at the turn sequence, it doesn't actually end after 5 instructions. You have to go to another page, and then it tells you what to do. You got to roll your extra dice, okay? Okay, now the board is very unassuming. Not what you might expect a board to be. Bye, cat. And on the board, what happens is, this is where your treasure is. This is where you put the dice that you're about to roll. And this is where you put dice that might harm you. So what are some of the ways it can harm you? Well, when you roll these dice, there's a few options. You might get eggs that are treasure. You might get rerolls, or you might get little skulls. And skulls mean you're going to die. And if you roll 3 skulls, you lose all the treasure that you try to accumulate. What else comes in it? You're going to get this little box full of itty bitties. And in it, each player is going to get a token. This token here, let's see if I can get it near the camera, if it'll focus. Who knows? But what this is a little goblin. If your goblin's up, it means you're going deeper. If your goblin is on fire, it means you got scared by the dragon and you ran away. Then you're going to get little things that represent the coins that you got from your dice. That literally is the whole game. Would I get it? I would get it because I enjoy these short little games. More importantly, it actually fulfills the want that I had when I purchased other games. That would be Zombie Dice. Zombie Dice is essentially supposedly a multiplayer game where you're rolling die and you're trying to eat as many brains as you can, but the die might also kill you. You get 3 shotgun blasts, you're dead, and you lose all the brains you try to accumulate. Now that's a fun game, but it really is just one person doing it. The person rolls their own dice and decides what they want to do. I like this because what someone else does affects the whole group, so there's a little bit more interplay. This game also replaces Dungeon Roll for me. Dungeon Roll is very similar to this. You're going into the dungeon, but it's not multiplayer at all. It says it is, but it is not. It's really a solo experience where you're just trying to see how many points you can get. You're just rolling dice. You're pushing your luck. You're trying to get deeper. Just so unfulfilled in that game. Boy, I really try to like it. I always try to like all the games I get, but this one just did not do it for me. So that, gets replaced. This is getting replaced. This is really fun. The only game in this elk that it would not replace for me is a game I can't show you right now because it's at work. That game is called Chupacabra, and it's very similar to Zombie Dice, except like in Dicey Goblins or in Zombie Dice, instead of rolling dice that give you treasures, when you roll your dice, it lets you eat your enemies, your opponents at the table, and the opponent's dice become your treasure. So you're actually eliminating people, but it's really fast. I kind of dig that game more. It's a different way to play. Okay, so Dicey Goblins, pretty cool. The art is nice. Comes with some fun die. I would get it. I dig it. I dig it. I think you will too. All right, guys, with that being said, thanks so much for watching. Enjoy.